Hello and good morning, my faithful Patreons, supporters. So today I had an experience and I wanted to share it with you for the purposes of everyone benefiting from this knowledge one way or another. And here we go. Now, I've done this on several occasions, many times in different locales, whether it's in Ecuador, Panama, it doesn't really matter. And it's how I get to the bottom of it's only one way of how I get to the bottom of what a local price is on something. So here's how I do it. In this specific particular instance, what I do is, for example, okay, I'll just tell you what happened. I was walking on the street and there was some sort of a cabana with fruits and vegetables being sold. And so I noticed there were some papayas and I was looking for papayas today. So I went over there, walked over there, and I noticed that the seller had his back to me. Now this is very important. This is the key. I've had many situations where the sellers had their back to me and they didn't get to see me before quoting the price. This is very important. So this is how I do it. I take advantage of that situation by using my very best Spanish. Now if you're thinking, hey, I don't know Spanish, this isn't going to help me. Here's what I'm suggesting. All you really need to know is just a few words, just a phrase or two. In this case, it was "Cuánto vale la," which just means how much is the, and then you just substitute whatever you're asking about, like "Cuánto vale la papaya," "Cuánto vale la banana," "Cuánto vale el avocado." So the key here is to say it very fast so as to sound kind of like a local that doesn't have a gringo accent. Okay, so here's what happened. So I approached the cabana, and once I realized that the seller had his back to me, I immediately said, "Cuánto vale la papaya? Cuánto vale la papaya?" You know. Now here's what happens. When you do that, they will hear the question, they will start thinking about the price, but they haven't seen you. Whereas in your average situation, first they see you, then they start thinking about the price, and then when you ask, they've got a little bit of an advantage on you. So I had the advantage on him. So I said, "Cuánto vale la papaya?" And he hadn't seen me yet. So as he's turning, he's already telling me the price. So he said 70 cents, and when he said 70 cents, that made sense. Why? Because I already know by going to the store, and by the way, I'm just using this as an example. I'm not trying to help you save 30 cents here. I'm saying how I get to the bottom of any price on anything from vendors. It could be clothing, it could be stereos, it doesn't matter what it is, you know. So this is just the example that happened today. It just happened, so I'm making a video. But I've done this so many times on so many different things. So he said 70 cents and then turned around and saw me. Okay, so you said 70 cents. So I walk over there and pick one out. Now, I'm a couple of steps ahead of him already, and I'm thinking, okay, all the papayas pretty much are about the same size, because I already know what he's going to do. So I go over there to check out. At this point, when I'm looking at the papayas, I'm sure he's looking me over and realizes, oh, that looks like a foreigner. Well, he's got shorts on. He's got to be a foreigner. So then when I go check out, he says $1.50. Ta-da! Here's the thing. None of the papayas were twice as large as any one of the papayas that could have been the 70 cent that he originally quoted me. You see? So whatever he was thinking 70 cents, if it had been the case that he was saying, well, this one's 150 because it's twice as big, there weren't any. They were all just about the same size. There's no way one would have been 70 and the next one 140. It might have been that one was 70 and one was 80. So here's what happened. When he said $1.50, I said no thanks. So you have to be ready to say no thanks and turn it down. Goodbye. Whenever people do that to me, I always say goodbye. Now, if I'm feeling really sharp and had a really good night's sleep, I might say, okay, well, where's the 70 cent one? Seeing that I've already scanned the scene and looked at every single papaya and didn't see any papaya that was really all that much smaller than the rest of them, I wouldn't have cared had he picked out the smallest one, because really at 70 cents they're still 1/3 less than what they sell at the store. And that's another point. I already know what to get these papayas for, or whatever it is, avocados or clothing or air conditioner, whatever it is that you're buying, I already know what the prices are before I ask some vendor that has no prices on anything. So this is the clue. And so I already know I can get the papaya at the store for $1 to $1.30, you know, depending on how big it is. So this papaya would have cost probably around $1.15, $1.20 at the store. So when he quoted me the original price, 70 cents, that made a lot of sense because the street seller has to be lower. Remember the rule that we said that at the mercados the price has to be lower than the stores. And so 70 cents, here's the thing, I never bought the papaya, however, I did find out what the local street seller rate is for a papaya of that size. So now I know. And there's other ways to know. You can hire bilinguals and all that, but that always costs so much money to do, and you really don't. Personally, my opinion is that I really don't want to be dependent. So all you gotta do is just repeat the phrase over and over and over really fast until you don't sound like you have an accent, and then take advantage. When you see a seller's got his back, boom, you ask. And yeah, he's gonna turn around, but you know, as I said earlier, all the advantage to that, and it has actually worked to my advantage many times. Sometimes they'll go ahead and just sell you the papaya. Here's what I've noticed. If they haven't had any other gringos and you surprise them like that, they will still not have had enough time to think it through to say no or try to gringo gouge you or whatever. They just end up selling you for the local rate, and that's a good thing. However, the second and third time around, or you know, or places where they have a stream of gringos coming, their mind's already clued in and they're already way ahead of you when they see you coming. And so that's one of the keys and one of the clues and one of the ways that I get to the bottom of what a local price is. And once I know the local price, of course, I have this mentality that I won't budge. I won't pay a gringo, what do you call it, premium. I won't pay it. I just won't pay it. So once I know that and they start gringoing me anywhere else I go on the papayas, I just always, no thanks, no thanks, no thanks, and because I'll just go to the store. I just happen to be walking by there anyway. I didn't make a special trip. So so you lost my sale. And I really do think and believe that all gringos should act that way. Every single gringo should act that way, the same way, and simply refuse to do business to people that want to gringo gouge you. Not because they're bad people, but because of the obvious reasons that it's just not good for us, you know, in the long run. Thanks for listening, and hasta luego, amigos.